Cimoooooooo!
Welcome to Tech Tuesday, a weekly series where we discuss some awesome tech cards as well as help make you a better player. This week's card is Booby Trap E, a really neat trap card out of the new Wing Raiders set that's gonna make your opponent be like...
It's a trap.
Booby Trap E is a normal trap card, and the effect reads that by discarding one card, you can set one continuous trap card from either your hand or your graveyard to your side of the field, and that continuous trap card can be activated the turn it was set. So why is this card a good tech card? Well, we're kind of in a format right now where traps aren't really being too utilized outside of maybe, the Solemn Brigade, but the second level of traps that come in line after the Solemn Brigade, or really counter traps I guess in general, are continuous Floodgates. And so Booby Trap E is something that can just be so powerful to utilize if Floodgates are one of your favorite things to use. So let's start with probably the best Floodgate that there is, being Vanity's Emptiness, because it is limited, and back when this card was at 3, the format was a complete shit show. So wouldn't you just love the ability to have a card that can bring Vanities back to your side of the field and stop your opponent's plays? So after your Vanities goes away once, what you can do is you can use Booby Trap E, reset that Vanity's Emptiness from your graveyard, and then you are free to activate Vanity's Emptiness at any other point during the turn. So having something that can recur Vanities is pretty damn good in my book. But Vanities isn't the only really powerful Floodgate card we've got right now in the current format. You've got cards like Anti-Spell Fragrance running around if you hate those pesky Pendulum decks. We've got Mask of Restrict if you just want to give the middle finger to Monarchs. I mean, there's just a plethora of good continuous trap cards or Floodgates that you have that you could use with Booby Trap E to basically make it so it's almost like you have extra copies of those cards in your deck. I mean, there's Rivalry of Warlords, there's Gozen Match. These are cards that you're actually seeing commonly used in side decks. You've also got Call the Haunted or Oasis of Dragon Souls for use to Teller Knight and Cosmo players. You basically have the ability to recur your cards that are going to recur some of your best monsters. So why would you not want something that good? One other really interesting aspect I see about this card is that since Twin Twister is basically running amok in either the main deck or the side deck, I mean, you really can't tell anymore. What's really interesting about Booby Trap E is that say they go into Twin Twister you can chain Booby Trap E in response to basically make it so that they wasted and negged on their Twin Twister, because then you're going to get whatever continuous trap card you want to your back row, and it can't be targeted by Twin Twister because they had to declare targets when they initially activated that card. So essentially, they negged at least one of the cards that they hit, and they're going to have to deal with whatever it is that you just placed in your back row. So there's some really interesting psychological warfare that can be used with this card as well. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about Booby Trap E. I think it's one of those cards that might actually be a little bit overlooked in the new set because, I mean, everyone's focused on like Force Strix and, the Quantums, things like that. I just wanted to highlight this card because especially for players that really love to use Floodgates and don't exactly like to play, I guess, what you could call the standard meta, since the standard meta doesn't really kind of conform to using a lot of Floodgates, this is something that you all could use to help really put up your game against the meta. Thank you all so much for watching the video. We'll see you next week.
Cimoooooooo!